Good afternoon, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritsma here. We are live for severe thunderstorm warning currently ongoing in northern Michigan. If you're just tuning in, feel free to hit that like button and let me know if you can hear me. This severe thunderstorm warning is, for reference, way up here in northern Michigan. We also have a special weather statement up here in Presque Isle County, in Huron Beach and Onaway. That special weather statement is in effect for 50-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail. But this is our main concern right now. We have a severe thunderstorm warning down here just to the southeast of Gaylord at the current time.
Hi, Joel.
National Weather Service, hi Chandler. National Weather Service in Gaylord has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Alpena, southwestern Alpena, east central Crawford, and southeastern Montmorency. This is in effect till noon. At 11:23, severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from near Garland to near Red Oak to 7 miles north of South Branch Township. And this is moving east at 35 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail are your hazards, so that penny-sized hail is 0.75 inches in diameter. Radar indicated. If you are in the path of these storms, please be moving away from any exterior walls, interior room, lowest floor of the building at the current time. You can see right here on your radar, right side of your screen, that is what's called the velocity product, and those are gusty winds. So anywhere you see these reds, this is outbound wind from the radar site, which is right here in Otsego Lake. So all these winds are obviously moving away from the radar site, but where they're brighter is where you're going to see those severe winds. So right here where these yellow pixels are at, that's winds of 65 to 67 miles per hour at about 1,500 feet off the ground. So thank you guys for
Joel,
letting
do
me
you
know.
need help with anything, sir? Or are you rocking and rolling?
I'm pretty good. I think I got it.
Okay, please send me a message if you need some assistance. Okay, I'm sitting here standing by, ready to help out if you need it.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Also, hello everybody watching. I'm now leaving.
That's Chandler in the background, everyone. So, yeah, if you're living in Fairview and just north of Mayo, you guys do want to be taking shelter. So this is heading right over Centerline Road right now, about to cross Penn Road, moving straight down Pennsylvania Crossing Road, as well as DNE Mixed Traffic Road and Oak Lake Road. So all those are right underneath that heaviest of winds. So previously, special weather statement for 50-mile-per-hour winds is now in severe criteria with winds up to 60 miles per hour. The warning itself is for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 0.75-inch hail. There's no tornado possible this storm. This is just a gusty wind. This is a storm producing gusty winds at the current time. So this includes portions of Montmorency and Alpena counties, but well south of Atlanta, Hillman, Lachine. I probably pronounced that wrong, but it is heading towards Hubbard Lake. So if you live up there, you do want to be on alert, especially as this heads towards southern Alpena and central Alcona County. I'm going to go ahead and reload my page here. So you're going to see my radar disappear for a quick second. And then it'll come back. It's a little bit laggy. I want to try and get rid of the lag there. That's a little bit better. We do have a new radar scan coming in right now. This is the only severe thunderstorm warning in the state. It is up here well to the north of Tri-Cities, north of Grand Rapids, way north of Grand Rapids, I should say, and obviously north of Gladwin even. So heading towards the Harrisville area, Hubbard Lake area, eventually downstream here. This pocket of damaging winds has really started to gust out immensely here. This is now going right down Hill Road, crossing over Boiling Springs Road, heading towards Delano Road, Emig Road, and the county line between Montmorency and Oscoda County here. So that's going to be Campbell Road. If you live in the M33 corridor north of Fairview, and I would say even in downtown Fairview itself, you do want to be taking shelter. This is heading, the strongest pocket of winds here, as you can see on the right side of your screen, is about a mile or two away now at this point of crossing M93 in the northern part of Oscoda County. Lachine. Perfect. I've seen that pronunciation before, so I figured I was in the ballpark, I guess you could say. But these are all kind of little miniature supercells. The wind profile out there today does have those like kind of C-shaped photographs, which are indicative of some turning with height in the wind shear. So you're going to get supercells out there today. You'll have probably some rotation on some of these cells, but it's going to be mostly elevated. But there is a low risk for a tornado today. Less than 2% is the odds for a tornado today. So main hazard is going to be damaging winds and some small to maybe severe hail and a tertiary threat of tornadoes. So keep that in mind. This threat will be existing across Michigan. If we can get storms to fire down here with a lifting mechanism in southern Michigan later this afternoon, peak timing will be about from noon to 5 o'clock for southeast Michigan primarily. But right now, nothing ongoing down there in the southern part of the state. If you're watching from the UP, unfortunately for you guys, you're dealing with some rain-snow mix right now. So unfortunate, obviously, but you know, summer will be here soon. You're just gonna have to stick it out for another week or two. Colder temperatures also on the horizon for your end of the first week of May, or through the first week of May, I guess you could say. So we really kind of have to wait until that mid-May time frame before we really start to clear out of those cold temperatures, and warm is here to stay. So keep that in mind. If you're watching from the UP, you guys are behind the severe threat as well. Outside of the severe weather ongoing today, winds are gusting pretty immensely across the state. Wind gusts already reported up near 50 miles per hour near Grand Rapids, Muskegon, Ludington as well, gusted to 45 overnight. Right now we have actually in Saginaw itself a 49 mile per hour wind gust, 48 at the Grand Rapids airport, places down south near Lansing, 43 there, mile per hour winds, and over in the Thumb near 40 miles per hour. So despite whether or not you're in a thunderstorm, there's going to be gusty winds today. Having a thunderstorm will help get that to severe limits. So keep that in mind. It will not take long. I can see you, Judah. All good on my end. The front right now is just coming on to the West Michigan shoreline here. It's debated on where it could be. It's where the temperatures really drop off. So you can see it's 59 in Muskegon, but 68 here in Fremont. So that cold front's about right through here up into Traverse City. So that is going to act as your extra lifting mechanism. But the cold front kind of crosses the lake and goes back here towards Chicago. So that cold front's still a long ways away from moving through the state. We could definitely see some development this afternoon for southern Michigan. However, I will say this. It is very dry out there today. Similar to what we had yesterday, low humidity values, especially down there at the surface and in our upper levels. There are a couple instances where you could see some moisture mix down or mix in. But overall, generally speaking, it's going to be dry out there today. So lacking moisture, and then obviously you need that lifting mechanism for these storms to fire. Up here in the UP right now, we have both lifting and moisture. So we have all those ingredients available for severe winds to come together. And that is what we're seeing right now as this comes even closer to the, actually now crossing the M33 corridor. I was wondering if there's going to be an update there in the radar, and there it is. So right over at Ab Road, ABBE is how it's spelled. A lot of private roads out here. Actually, this is a lot of all-terrain sort of roads out here. So a lot of these trails out here are not named. So if you know you live to the east of M33 here in Montmorency County, extreme southeastern Montmorency County along these trails, and extreme northeastern Oscoda County, this pocket of wind is going to bring down more trees. A lot of what's actually happening out there. You could have extra tree fall, especially given the fact that you obviously had that ice storm up there at the beginning of the month. It's been exactly a month now since that has occurred. So a lot of loose limbs have already come down, but this pocket of wind here could bring down even more. So keep that in mind. Eventually this is going to be racing off towards the M65 corridor, Van Wagner Road in extreme northern Alpena County. Over the next probably 15 to 30 minutes here, again, these storms are moving off to the not northeast, more to the east at 35 miles per hour. So you got some time to prepare if you're downstream in this warning. Again, that severe thunderstorm warning box is in orange. So where you see there on the screen. For 4 to 5 different counties, I will say at this point, even though the warning is in effect for Crawford, you guys are outside of the risk at this point. So if you're in Crawford County and in that orange box, you guys are good to come out of the safe shelter at the current time. If you are in Mayo, you have a couple more minutes here. But the main focus is going to be Fairview and north, as well as into Alpena and southern Alpena County here in the minutes to come. Grayling, our whole town is without power. They're letting us out of the high school because they don't have power. Thank you for that report. Let me go ahead and pull up consumers here behind the scenes just to kind of see what's going on out there. Ah, yes. Oh, but it was from earlier this morning. So it was reported at 9:30 this morning. So it was due to the winds already ongoing out there. Non-severe. SBC did have a marginal risk as of, I think, the 2 a.m. update this morning up here into the northern Michigan. If you guys saw our latest SWO, our severe weather outlook on our Facebook page, we did keep a low risk all the way up here into portions of northeast lower. So pretty much spot on, at least with our forecast so far. It's verifying in the way of one severe thunderstorm warning, and we'll have to see how it looks later today downstate for southeast Michigan, because we kind of used that RRFS run once again, as the RRFS did really well yesterday on Monday over there in the UP. So far today, the RRFS has fired up these cells, shown pretty well what is supposed to happen out there. So again, we'll keep an eye out for southern Michigan, but right now nothing going on down there yet. Karen in chat, absolutely, yeah, that's a good way to be weather aware. So if you want to become a storm chaser, Skywarn spotter classes are readily available, usually in the spring. As a meteorologist myself, highly recommend to get a lot of information at those meetings. They usually last about 2 hours in length. So on top of that, if you would like to become part of our Chaser Partner Network, we're always looking for people to join. There is a test on our website, michiganstormchasers.com/staff. Scroll down to the bottom. There is a test that you can take to become a Chaser Partner for our site. As long as you do pretty well, we will contact you back and let you know if we can do a follow-up with you. So always an option. Gusty winds are continuing now as they wait for an update. This radar scan's about 5 minutes apart. This is going to be heading right for the kind of the Four Corners region between Montmorency, Alpena, Oscoda, and Alpena counties. Doing some tree cleanup and decided the hail was a bit much on Onaway, Michigan. Thank you for that report, Floria. That was up here for this storm. It's currently special weather statemented. If you have any pictures, obviously let us know. But I believe this looks like it's going to already. Probably saw what pea-sized hail up there. Let us know though. Obviously, we will take any reports. These storms are starting to turn into one big cluster here as they head towards Lake Huron. Yes, we do recommend that if you are applying for the Chaser Partner Network, that you are able to chase yourself and are not reliant on other people to drive you, if anything, because that becomes a liability issue. So if you know you can't drive, feel free to pass on the test, I guess you could say. But we do still appreciate weather reports nonetheless if you do want to become a spotter at home. We're always taking damage reports. If you haven't joined our Discord channel yet, that is there. You can send reports in via our Discord channel. Otherwise, if you have a Facebook account, our Michigan Weather Reports group on Facebook is the group to join. When you are submitting these damage reports for like days like today, make sure you are specific with your location, your time, and your measurement, especially if it's like a hail report. Measuring hail, for example, you want to use like a coin or some sort of like sports ball, like a golf ball or a ping pong ball. You can even use a marble if it's comparable to a marble. There's also a hail size called mothball, for those who don't know. So right now, the capping inversion isn't really too much of a concern. It's more so the dry air. There's a lot of that out there right now, especially with the winds kind of whipping around, allowing a lot of those non-thunderstorm wind gusts to mix to the ground. So overall, a gusty day, dry day out there. But there are pockets of moisture out there that will allow for surface-based storms to fire and perhaps produce severe storms, kind of like what we're seeing out here today in northeast Michigan. That just says alert upgraded, but it's not upgraded. It's just an update. As you can see, the box has been trimmed. Orange box, you see it scroll through here. You can see how it was originally issued, and then it's been trimmed. So Crawford County is officially canceled. Mayo, outside of the severe thunderstorm warning. Fairview, the severe thunderstorm warning is now cutting the city in half, I guess you could say. The orange box on the north side of town. I will say it looks like the gusty winds are now starting to take a little bit of a turn to the north. So more towards southern Alpena County here. Passing over a lot of these still very rural roads, rural tracks out here. Farrier Road, crossing over Farrier Road right now, and Turtle Lake Road. I believe that's probably going to be Turtle Lake there on the county line. Again, heading towards M65 at the current time. We didn't get too much sleep last night. So we got a new special weather statement that just rolled in here. This is going to be for this cell that split off here. Heading right over Hillman right now. The special weather statement is in effect until noon. 11:37, a strong thunderstorm was located near Hillman or 9 miles east of Atlanta, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. Wind gusts of 50 and penny-sized hail are possible. So this is also a storm that is just below severe limits at the current time. This is going to include Presque Isle Lighthouse, Royston, Long Rapids, Lachine, Thompson's Harbor State Park, Posen, Hillman, Presque Isle, Cathro, and Lakewood. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building as a special weather statement up there in the tan box. Otherwise, the storm is definitely starting to take a little bit of a left split as well. The heart of these winds are now definitely heading more towards Alpena. So if you are actually in Alpena right now, I would absolutely be taking necessary precautions just in case. This is again heading off to the northeast now. Previously at 45 and 35 miles per hour, but I believe this is starting to speed up as it gets kind of away from the inland part of the state. With that being said, this is going to be tracking towards Alpena in the next half hour. So 12:15, maybe even 12:30 into Alpena at the current time. This is quite the swath of damaging winds heading through the area. If you have damaging wind reports, I know it's going to be hard to distinguish versus the ice damage up there, but if you know there's some fresh trees that are falling in your neck of the woods, please let us know. This peak of this gusty winds right now is surging over Beaver Lake Park Road, M65 of course, heading right down Beaver Lake Road itself, crossing over Elvier Road and Black Road. Also going to be heading kind of north towards Spratt Road here too, East-West Road, and Cousinal Road. Ooh. And Shabbat Road. Probably a lot of road names I'm mispronouncing, but again, if you know you live in that area of southwestern Alpena County, you guys are basically in the threat for this severe thunderstorm warning. If you know anyone that is living up here in northeast Michigan, we're going to be live for the remainder of this morning and into the early parts of the afternoon for the severe thunderstorm warnings. Especially if you know anyone in Presque Isle and Alpena counties as well as Alcona counties. Feel free to share the stream. Let them know severe weather is on the way. If not severe, strong weather. Hail up to about half an inch in diameter and winds still 50 miles per hour, still pretty gusty. The difference between 50 and 60 is not too significant. So you still want to be mindful of the winds out there today. No rotation out here in these storms. Yeah, if you don't know anybody that's living up in this area, again, a like goes a long ways in the social media world. It helps spread our streams to those who might be Michiganders that don't know we exist. So, again, like goes a long ways. I do appreciate you if you have done so already. Yeah, sorry, my Facebook notifications are on. That's from our behind-the-scenes operations. I'll turn those off. Sheboygan's out of this threat right now. You guys are well off to the west of this line of storms. You can see up there Sheboygan. Still gusting to about 35 there right now. Keep that in mind. These winds right now, I know the bottom of the screen is cutting it off, but hovering over this, winds right now at about 2,700 feet off the ground are 70 miles per hour. So pretty intense. Some pixels averaging between 60 and 70 miles per hour right now. But again, it is 2,700 feet off the ground. But on a day like today, it won't take much for those winds to mix to the ground. And I would be prepared here, Alpena County proper, for another severe thunderstorm warning extension here soon, if I had to imagine. If not, if this warning does get canceled, we will stay. I personally will stay live just to make sure these storms get through northern Michigan without another severe warning being issued. You can see we have about 4 different cells here right now. 1, 2, 3, 4 in Presque Isle and Alpena counties specifically. Some of those effects being felt down here in extreme northeastern Oscoda County. But if you're in southern Oscoda County, you're really not going to see anything at all besides a little bit of wind unassociated with any showers and thunderstorms. You have an update on that cell, it looks like. And we will wait for velocity, and there we go. Yeah, that's still gusting to near 70 up there at about 3,400 feet off the ground. But it's probably going to likely look more intense as we get further off the ground, as it picks up more on that low-level jet instead of the surface-based winds. I see a lot of talk about apps in chat here. A good app to keep in mind is going to be Emergency by the Red Cross. It's free to download on the App Store. Sends out really loud alerts. You also have the FEMA app, which I know you guys are talking about on there. So, and there we go. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning rolling in as we speak. It's going to be issued for Alpena County. Before I do that, Do want to say shout out to Trisha for the $4.99 super chat. Love MSC mods and sponsors. Thanks. Thank you, Trisha, for always tuning in and for the super chat. All right, we are going to go over to the warning here. This new orange box on your screen for Alpena proper. National Weather Service in Gaylord has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for central Alpena County in northern Michigan until 12:15 p.m. This at 11:49. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Lachine to near Osneek Township to 8 miles northwest of Curran. I'm probably gonna get that one wrong. I know I got Osneek right, but I don't believe I got Curran right. So correct me if I'm wrong there. This is moving east at 40 miles per hour. 60 mile per hour wind gusts is the primary hazard and only hazard. They have cut down on the hail risk. Hail under 0.75 inches now. Torrential rainfall also occurring with these storms may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. This thunderstorm will be near Alpena, the town of Hubbard Lake, Osneek, and Osneek Township around 11:55 a.m. So within the next 5 to 10 minutes here, as these storms continue to roll off to the east, east-northeast. Now, again, is this little cell right here. Currently on your screen is your reflectivity radar. So that is measurement of how intense the rain is. Or you see the reds and pinks, that's going to be your torrential rainfall, torrential downpours leading to perhaps some localized flooding. And pinks are also indicative of some hail, but we don't know if it's hail without switching over to a product like correlation coefficient, for example, which is this radar. We're looking for a match right in the center of this storm to see if there's any greens and yellows, maybe even some blues. There's a couple pixels of oranges and yellows picking up in there, but it's likely there's a little bit of green there too. Probably hail, maybe 0.25 inches in diameter at most. VIL product, which is measurement of vertically integrated liquid, shows not much of a hail core out there right now either. So overall, pretty low threat. These storms are towering up faster than they can fall down. So a lot of that hail staying sustained in the atmosphere right now, not tumbling down to the surface. So keep that in mind. This is mainly a damaging wind threat. This is heading right for downtown Alpena, though. So if you know anyone in Alpena, tell them to be taking shelter. These storms have, yeah, I see Hillman's been mentioned in here. Hillman, you guys are outside of that the storm action now, so you guys are good. Same with Atlanta. But again, Alpena proper, this is heading right your way. Switching over to our velocity signature directly over Briar Hill Road. Pretty much moving straight down Worth Road and Napers Road. Bussy Road probably is how it's pronounced, and Taylor Hawks Road. These are all east-west roads in the area. Again, this is crossing over Heron Road, soon to be Wolf Creek Road, and Kings Settlement Road within the next probably 2 to 4 minutes here, if not already, given the fact that these radar scans are about 5 minutes apart. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and figure out storm motion 248 at 52. Yeah. Gusting heavily out there today. So if you know anyone in Alpena, if you yourself are in Alpena, you do want to be taking shelter. These are some gusty winds bringing down trees and perhaps power lines in the area. It's pretty much on a direct course with Alpena as we speak. Again, pretty much moving straight down Worth Road, and Worth Road curves around into Alpena here on the south side of town. So that's a good rule of thumb. We'll be getting, actually, yeah, it is going to be crossing M32 pretty much to the straight to the east of Lachine at the current time. Corinne. Could be pronounced different ways. Sorry, I'm speaking to myself here. If you have any structure photos you want to share, I'm sure there's probably some really nice looking cloud structures out there this morning turning into afternoon. So let me know what you guys are seeing. Do not put photos in the live stream chat. We will not see them. Again, you can utilize our Discord channel, our Michigan Weather Reports page, or you can just put them in any of our other posts on our Facebook page as well. So like if there's a severe thunderstorm warning text post, you can just drop it in there, for example. We will say try to refrain from using our messenger unless it is like a damage report, I guess you could say. So, but ideally we want to keep everything kind of confined to the weather report group or the Discord, so it's all in one place. Melissa, I don't remember which one is the right way at this point. Curran? Is it like R-A-N, like Curran? Because I think that's what I pronounced it the first time. But correct me if I'm wrong. Heads up, Presque Isle, that strong thunderstorm, not severe, is now over the city, or about to be in the next minute or two. Again, 50-mile-per-hour winds here and penny-sized hail, so it's more of a hail threat up here more than anything. This is going to be offshore in the Lake Huron in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So we expect a lot of this action to be done here in probably the next 15 to 30 minutes. By the time we get to about that 12:30 time frame. Further south development is still possible today. We are going to be watching the atmosphere very closely across the state. Currently right now, nothing forming down there, even though the atmosphere is well juiced. Surface-based Cape Valley is well over 2,000 right now in portions of southern Michigan. 2,500 joules of Cape right now. We only need 1,000, by the way. But there is a little bit too much dry air mixing in. Curran. Got it. So I did have it right. Curran. Bear with me. See the one closest to Rogers City on the top? It looks amazing. Yeah, we'll take storm photos. I will say general structure photos, though, if it's not like a damage report, you can also send it to our Michigan Storm community page. That is also on Facebook. It's a group. Cold front is currently draped across West Michigan right now. Currently moving in towards Grand Rapids, Big Rapids, and Cadillac. The storm is now bearing down on Alpena as we speak. Also a special marine warning in effect for Lake Huron. Offshore from Lost Lake Woods up to Rogers City. And there is your gust of wind moving into Alpena proper right now. That is sitting in an environment up there that is a lot more moist in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. A lot of speed shear out there today, so it's going to be still a primarily gusty wind threat as these storms head off into Lake Huron. Oh. I need a drink of water. There we go. So again, still heading right down Worth Road. It's pretty much following Worth Road into downtown Alpena right now. Crossing over Hobbs Drive on Tamarack Road here. About to hit the more commercial side of town before eventually hitting downtown here by 12:05. So Alpena, your time to prepare was a couple minutes ago. If you haven't yet, now is the time to be away from any exterior walls in your house. Again, damaging winds can bring down just as many trees as any other sort of thunderstorm. So do want to be taking shelter away from any walls that have trees outside of them. A couple gusts of wind perhaps in these cells here as they head between Presque Isle and Rockport, perhaps towards Presque Isle itself. Have a little bit of a hook on them as well, given our wind profile out there today, but nothing crazily rotating by any means. Now we have one more cell. It's kind of following up in its path here, right to the west of Hubbard Lake. Otherwise, the majority of our action is now offshore heading towards Ontario. Severe watch probably not likely today, but who knows? You never know. If storms rapidly fire, then it might be worth watching. Either way, a watch on a day like today, you really can't issue a watch if the storm mode is going to be isolated, and that's what we're seeing out there. These storms are going to just kind of be cells kind of all over the place, and so a lot of locations are going to get missed. So a watch is kind of hard to verify, essentially, on a low end day like today. You don't really see severe thunderstorm watches on, marginal risk days, for example. So keep that in mind. Just because you're not in a severe thunderstorm watch, though, obviously does not mean you're out of the threat. As you can see up here, there's no severe thunderstorm watch for the northern part of Michigan, but severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect, especially this one in Alpena County, as it heads directly into Alpena right now as we speak. So 60-mile-per-hour winds and under 0.75 inch hail is moving into downtown Alpena. When it is safe to do so, if you have any damage reports to send to us, feel free to do that. You can send them to us on Messenger, but we do appreciate it if you just send them in our Discord or in our Michigan Weather Reports page on Facebook. You can also, if you don't have either of those, if you have an X account, you can tag us on X, and we will see them pop up in our comments on there, so, or in our notification bar. Six zero. If it was 16, it would not be warned. So that's what the warning's for here in the orange, 60 miles per hour. Severe thunderstorm warning is going to be trimmed. Just a moment here. There it is. They have trimmed. Obviously, Oscoda and Alcona have been canceled from that warning from earlier, but the M65 corridor is now out of the warning as well. The storm's now directly over downtown Alpena, with winds at 5,000 feet off the ground, measuring around 60 to 65 miles per hour. There's a couple spots in here I see 68, 67. So if that is gusting to the ground, that could be quite damaging for the trees, on top of what's already happened out there. This is going to be heading right down Misery Bay Road and towards North Point Shores Road and North Point Road and Indian Road. All those roads out here, kind of on the peninsula to the east of downtown Alpena. So that cell in Presque Isle has kind of congealed into one. If you are in Presque Isle right now, I would definitely be taking shelter just in case. Looks like some hail is starting to fall too. VIL says yes. So Presque Isle, just to be taking shelter just in case. The special alert statement has been canceled or expired. But trust me on this, just stay inside for the next probably 8 to 10 minutes just to be safe. We obviously have a lot of cloud to ground lightning ongoing out there today. So, something to keep in mind. Even if there's no damaging winds or hail, you still got all that fun stuff going on. I've made my myself bigger there so you guys can see me. $10 super chat from Red Dozier. Thank you, Red, as always, for your contributions here at Michigan Storm Chasers, one of our longtime donors. Asking, did I sleep last night? And the answer to that is very briefly. I think I only got an hour or two at most. Ryan was watching as well. Chandler was up a couple hours last night as well. So we were kind of all splitting the bill. I'm dragging right now. I can tell you that. I will be honest with you. But eventually sleep will come. But that time is not now. Go ahead and check out downstate. Just to look at the radar downstate right now and show you guys. Not a whole lot going on, although we are starting to see a cell fire here in Eaton and Ingham County, just south of Lansing. That'll be something to watch. As you can see, there's a little bit of a boundary here that is set up from Cass over into Flint. A couple cells starting to pop up there near Lapeer as well. Okay, from the Detroit radar, there's indeed a cell right there heading into Mason. So not strong or severe by any means at this point, but it bears watching as we move into probably the 1 o'clock hour. So got an hour still while the storms try to blossom up. Chandler is in chat here on YouTube. Hi, Chandler. If you're watching on Facebook, we'll say the overall streaming experience on YouTube is a little bit better. A lot more interactive, a lot more people chatting on here. If you are watching on Facebook, feel free to say hi, though. Let us know where you're watching from this or I can officially say that, this afternoon. And make sure to drop a like if you haven't already. Colin from Twitch as well. If you guys don't haven't followed us on Twitch yet, there's also Twitch TV, twitch.tv/Michigan Storm or MI Storm Chasers. I will say for Twitch, for those who are watching on Twitch, that is the shortest delay. So it's about a 3 to 5 second delay between us broadcasting here and getting it out to you guys, whereas on YouTube and Facebook, it's about 15 to 30 seconds at most sometimes, a little bit of a delay. So if you're looking for like a short delay where seconds mean everything, Twitch is the way to go. Again, our username there is MI Storm Chasers. Thank you, Julie, for linking it here in our YouTube chat for those who are curious. Cell now directly over North Point Road, 2 minutes away from being off onto Lake Huron, besides a couple remaining heavier showers that are non-severe back here in central Alpena County. Becoming a lot more messy in nature and in a good way, as in it's becoming more discombobulated, I guess is the word for it. And you also have the storm that's over Presque Isle right now, heading off into Lake Huron as well in the next 2 minutes. It will probably be good to hop off here very soon. Residual showers starting to pop up here in southern Oscoda County as well as northern Ogemaw County. Not currently warned, and obviously not currently strong by any means. Those are lighter showers, indicated by the blues and greens on here. Again, where you see the yellows, oranges, and reds, it's going to be your moderate to heavy rain. And the pinks especially is where you're going to see a mix over to hail. But again, we can't know if it's hail for sure without checking some of our other radar products, such as the VIL. Basically hail bullseyes there. And our correlation coefficient, where we're looking for more of a green, yellow, bluish tint inside of this overall reds and pinks, which again, reds and pinks on our correlation coefficient radar is uniform droplets, so rain and snow are both circular in nature. whereas you got hail and in some cases debris, which is not. And somebody is laying on their horn outside of my apartment. Love that. Chandler is the coolest. Chandler, you got a fan if you're still watching. See how it is. Trying to disguise my yawns a little bit. Tri-Cities, Saginaw, you guys are good for now. We'll let you know if we're covering your area. We'll let you know for sure here. And we go live from beginning to end anytime there's a severe warning issued, and we primarily track areas under severe warnings when these do occur. So when we do have these live streams, it is imperative that you guys know where you're located on the map, because when you zoom out and see the whole state like this, for example, can you accurately point yourself on the map? Do you know where you're located? Obviously, you have big cities on here like Grand Rapids, Lansing, Flint, Cadillac. But if you know you live in like a smaller city outside of these major metropolitan areas, especially in between them, you definitely want to know where you are, especially if we're using these large-scale maps like this. Because again, everything we do here is pretty much county-based until we zoom in very close to thunderstorms that are severe in nature, such as the one that's currently in Alpena County. So if you know you're near Alpena County, it's mainly eastern Alpena County, but if you know you're there, that is where the severe is ongoing right now. Poke my head out the window and say, get off my lawn. I don't know about that. If you do have hail and damage reports, you can send it to our inbox as well. Alternate ways besides the ways I've already listed. Obviously, you can send it to our messenger on Facebook. I guess Meta is the actual host of Messenger. You can also email us if, for whatever reason, you don't have any of those social media platforms mentioned. You can contact us at contact@michiganstormchasers.com. Again, make sure when you are submitting these damage reports to add a specific location, a good measurement, and a time it occurred. That way we can also forward these reports over to the National Weather Service office so they can add a live storm report, for example. And that will be forever engraved in the NOAA archives of severe weather reports. So forever and ever until the reports go away. We'll say our Cape Valleys have significantly shifted off to the east side of the state now. So southeast Michigan primarily. Looks like central Michigan's losing a lot of its Cape Valleys out there right now, and a capping inversion starting to take over on the backside. So right now it's going to be looking at my meso-analysis here. Surface-based Cape is highest here along and south of 69. And then once you get to Marshall, over to Kalamazoo along 94, and then down towards Cassopolis is basically that cutoff line for anything severe today. If you are north of that line or west of that line I just mentioned, you're likely not to get severe this afternoon. But again, the best ingredients here are starting to move too quickly off to the east, away from that lifting mechanism, which is that cold front, which is still further off back to the west. So that lack of a cold front, not letting storms fire, but a good thing, considering that we do not want severe weather, and we obviously do not want destruction. So, and it appears that our warning is now has now expired. Yeah, it was issued until 12:15, and that is no longer in effect. So it just expired. Alpena no longer in a severe thunderstorm warning. Paramom with a $5 super chat there. Thank you, Paramom. These cells have now moved off onto Lake Huron. So we're going to watch now these cells down here starting to blossom in southeast Michigan. Currently not looking too impressive by any means. In fact, they're starting to collapse on themselves a little bit quicker than they can billow up. So, yeah. So now that we are out of severe ops, oh, there's another cell down here by Sturgis as well. Shower, I guess you could say. They'll be heading up towards Coldwater. So we're watching this region right here along these cells and points southeast for the development of severe as it heads towards Ann Arbor, Detroit, Pontiac, Oakland, places like Mount Clemens, New Baltimore, and Monroe later this afternoon. Otherwise, Petoskey, you guys are good. And yeah, overnight lows are going to get down to the 30s and 40s tonight, so some places could see 50-degree swings in the next 12 hours. 12 to 16 hours. See another cell starting to fire up here pretty quickly, just over Fairview. Curious to see how that continues off to the east. I'm gonna keep it looping right here for a second. I'm gonna take my camera off for just a minute here. I'm still here. You guys can still hear me, but I am currently behind the scenes. With there being a break in severe weather. Currently just monitoring some stuff right now. Chandler, I don't know if you're still in here. I'm pretty sure you probably are, but if you want to hop back in here real quick and talk with the crew, talk with everybody in Michigan, that'd be awesome. I do gotta take a break.
I am still here.
Okay, I gotta take a break real quick.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Do you have your camera pulled up, or I mean, you don't have to. You can just talk if you want.
It would probably be more work than it's worth, unless you can try the one for me for my laptop, but I don't know if we ever did anything with it.
Doesn't look like it. Let me see. Nope. That's okay.
It'll be all right.
Okay.
I ain't worried about it. So, yeah, go do your thing.
Okay.
I got you covered.
I'll be back.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, Chandler here behind the scenes. Joel had to take a couple minutes to step outside. I am his replacement for the time being. Hello, 049. I'm doing well. Hello. Want to be a streamer one day? Hello. Hi, Rachel. Julie, that's right. I am Oz. Hello, Monica. Rosalind or Rosalind, however you say your name. It's a nice day out there for a good portion of the state. Are you guys sick of the wind yet? Or I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty sick of the wind. Zero. I fell asleep pretty early last night. I just woke up at about 5 o'clock, ready to rock and roll for today. So I don't know why. I don't normally get up that early. Normally I get up about 8 or 9 o'clock every day, and body said, "Let's go." Yeah, I see a couple questions you're asking about storms in the thumb later today. It's not out of the question. Some storms in the thumb. There's a little bit of development further to the south right now. Joel's radar is up on screen here while he steps outside for a couple minutes. But near the Lansing area, there's a couple storms that are popping up right now. Nothing major, nothing even close to severe. But they are there nevertheless, and will need monitoring as the rest of the afternoon goes on. If we look at the bit of northern Michigan there, the worst of the storms are out over Lake Huron right now. There's a little bit more development back behind it. You can just see one starting to pop back up on screen there to the northeast of Harrisville. I apologize, you guys. I don't have the ability to control a screen while Joel steps out, so I can't zoom in. It's coming soon. I have my PC built and it's here. I just need to set everything up to be able to run this for right now. A little bit of chance of rain in the Detroit metro and thumb area, like I said. It's pretty sporadic today. No real great idea on where it's going to be. The weather models have kind of been all over the place the last couple days. So, it just kind of is what it is right now. We'll continue to monitor any cells that continue to fire off in northern Michigan today. And we'll keep an eye out on the stuff here in southern lower Michigan that's starting to form. It would appear Joel's back.
I'm back.
Welcome, Joel. You are very quiet.
Test.
That's better.
I didn't really say much, but
You could have just talked quietly the first time.
okay.
I was looking at those cells back up in northern Michigan there.
Mm-hmm.
Be interesting to see what they do. That one's really blowing up.
Yeah, this one's heading right over M65 right now. Rural parts of northern Alpena County heading towards Hubbard Lake and Osneek. Kind of training along a line / boundary off the storms that have already moved through here. Sitting in a pocket of about 1,500 surface base cape. So well surface rooted. Could see a gusty wind, small hail report within the next couple minutes here. Across northeast lower for sure. Down here, meanwhile, in southeast Michigan, still have a cell trying to pop up here in Ingham County. Keep an eye on it as we get into the afternoon. That would be, if that continues to grow upscale, that would be in line of what the RRFS planned for this part of the state. So it would be back-to-back days where the RRFS has been correct.
All hail.
All hail.
I'm going to get some lunch going, Joel. since we might be in here for just a little bit yet. I'm working on a bunch of stuff behind the scenes. So if you're good to take back over, I still have the stream up and everything. But
Okay. Sounds good. If you're living in Southeast Michigan, the best answer I can give you guys is wait and see. We don't even know if the storms are going to stay sustained or pop up in the first place, besides the one that you're seeing right now on the radar in Ingham County. So again, the models have been very, very bad over the last 24 to 40 hours in terms of convection in Southeast Michigan. Timing wise, it's been a whole headache. But that is why on days like today, we just gotta kind of roll the punches and focus on our nowcasting side of things, given the current atmospheric conditions out there, which there's a lot of instability. If you think about SLIM, our acronym for SLIM, shear, lift, instability, moisture, decent amount of shear, but mainly in the form of speed shear, which is more indicative of some damaging winds. You have not so great lift out there. The cold front's kind of trailing behind a little bit, so we're lacking in lift. Instability, we got plenty of that though. Instability value is well over 2,000 joules of surface space CAPE. Again, we're looking for values over 1,000, so it's over 2 times, 3 times is the amount we need. And then you have moisture, which is kind of hit or miss in spots out there, I will say today. Some places are seeing humidity well above 70-80%. Other places, not so much. I'm gonna wait for one more scan here. So 12:30. The scan just passed 12:30. We'll see if that's continued to blossom up. But I believe we'll get a quick break here between the action, and then we'll start part 2 here soon, if needed for any of this severe weather as it occurs. So while we go ahead and let these scan kind of roll in here, I will go ahead and read through our sponsors. As you guys know, every live stream, usually near the end, we shout out our sponsors here on stream, and we can't do it without them. Of course, starting with our premier sponsor of the day, which is actually Shield Public Adjusters, 888-722-7027. I don't know if that's the right number, actually. Let me double check on that. It's actually 517-249-5720. The number on your screen is for Schneider Commercial Business Solutions, which is this right there. So that's Schneider. And then Shield Public Adjuster is 517-249-5720. For all your public adjusting and commercial roofing needs, those are your companies to contact. You also have Storm Guard in Detroit, Pro Powder, South Haven, Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding, based out of St. Clair County, McKay Tree Specialist, Southeast Michigan Storm Cleanup, Lifestyle Exteriors, Central Michigan, Kuiper Tree Care down there in West Michigan, Katz Roofing and Siding, based out of Lansing and Potterville, Gold Lake Tree Pro, based out of Kalamazoo, FBI Buildings, based out of pretty much the entire Lower Peninsula, all your barn and dominium needs, Hinkle's Tree Service needs down there in St. Joseph County, On Top Roofing, based out of Livingston County. Our camera sponsor, Guardian Technologies, responsible for all our Sky Network cameras that we use across the state. Floor Coverings International of Michigander is the last one we also have there for all of your flooring needs across the southwest Michigan region. The number there is on your screen for that. If you missed any of the numbers, you can go back and pause the stream and screenshot as needed. We have all of the sponsors there, as well as they're always scrolling across the top of the screen on this top bar up here. So if you ever want to need any roofing work done, all those services done, you can obviously reach out to those sponsors. They're well trusted, and we do recommend them. And if you use any of their services, make sure to tell them that Michigan Storm Chaser sent you. So with that being said, Making sure there's no other comments here. The winds in general this evening are going to last until about 6 o'clock. So you got another 6-ish hours left for the gusty winds statewide. Let's keep that in mind. It looks like these cells are kind of staying sustained as is, looking at updraft strength. They're kind of staying neutrally buoyant across the area. I'll double check our storms down here in Detroit real quick. And these ones right now are just staying as showers. So seeing the current situation on radar, we're going to go ahead and hop out of here for now. As always, as you guys know, we will be live for any more additional severe thunderstorm warnings as they come in, or tornado warnings across the state. If you haven't followed us yet on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or X, depending on what platform you're watching on, feel free to follow us on the platform you are currently watching on, or all of them if you are a Michigan Storm Chasers diehard. And as always, make sure to like the stream on the way out. Can't do it without you guys. Your support is always greatly appreciated. The best way to support us for free is by always doing the sharing and the liking of our content. So thank you guys so much for watching this afternoon and morning for your severe weather coverage across portions of Northeast Lower. I am Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritsma signing off for now, and we will be back later as needed for more additional severe weather coverage through the afternoon hours before the threat really overall kind of diminishes by that 4 to 5 o'clock time frame. So thank you guys for tuning in once again. I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritsma signing out, and we'll see you here maybe soon for more additional severe weather coverage. Take care this afternoon, everyone. We'll see you soon.